and we're back on my alts plot. Yesterday we kind of sort of finished up the swimming pool like foundation kind of bit, just the basic structure you'll see here. Today we're going to see about adding in some details and extras to kind of help sell that this is a swimming pool. I mean, there's certain things that one just expects to see in a swimming pool. So do the reload UI. I need to get rid of this for one. Not rid of it, I just need to test position. I was afraid that might. Just sizing it down and pushing it over just to kind of keep the line the same, but get rid of that little bit extra. And the reason it gets stuck is, like I said, the ground surface is pretty lumpy in the live bits, so you get stuck on those bits that you wouldn't think it would. In the PTR now, we have basically a perfectly flat ground, which is nice. So I'm just kind of looking to where to put the seam. I think this is kind of in the middle. That looks okay. I know this is probably not the same size anymore as this one, but I'm not going to worry. Looks okay. So. Kind of looking at little details, little bits that don't look off. And maybe the lines don't show as well in some places, others. Because, like I said, eventually when we put in the glass to represent the water, anything below that is going to be kind of off limits unless I move the glass again. I don't want to refrain from fiddling with it too much. Okay, let's see. Do we have a drain? Vent is what it's called. That is one big drain. First is kind of I know it's kind of big, and maybe it's not a good idea to have that little riveted part showing with the gray, whatever, but I don't know. This looks uneven though because of that. I want to raise up this side, maybe. That looks a little better. It looks more even. Doesn't appear to be kind of lopsided there. could do it like that, where it's just the rivet showing. Trying to see if it's sort of centered. I don't know. It looks pretty close to me. Kind of lined up with that line there. All right. Okay. I don't think I'm going to really put anything underneath. I say that now, and I probably will later, but we'll leave it empty for now. No glass or anything. We'll just start adding in some of the other bits. Now, I was thinking about what kind of, like, do we do like the metal ladder? You know, you have it kind of like the grips coming over here, and then it goes down into the water. Do we have some kind of steps? I figured we'd probably do. Let's see how the steps look. Let's try. Try the Cassian. The only thing is the size that I want to make it probably won't look good with the tiles. If I keep them small, it would, but let's try a. Hey, Okocha, are you on Jabbit Realm? If you are not, then you won't be able to, because that's where I am located. If you are, then just hop on Exile side and you can visit Celery Greenleaf, because this is an alt of mine that I'm working on. So let's try a casting one, and then I've got some Orin ones, and I'll see how those look. Let's drop that down a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to try and set up like a little stair effect that people can kind of walk into it. And if they're already in the pool, they can kind of come out of it. Pull up Katya's. Do a little bit of cloning from here. Don't know if this offsets at all, but maybe it should be even with the top here. Or maybe not. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe it's not enough of a step, too much of a step. I think that'll work. Just to kind of get you into the water and then a little splashy. Something like that. let's see. Probably want to do that on this other side as well, just to kind of mirror it. You know, not everybody's going to want to walk all the way around to the one corner to get in. They might be too tired to swim over to this corner, so kind of look at how we've got this here. Okay. Drag this over. Something like that. And 31 at 92. Okay. I don't think it's gonna let me. And that one's 42. So, kind of like the one on the other side. Go ahead and go away. I like that the stairs kind of match the material that the trim is in. Kind of, sort of. I could extend it one more step down, but I don't think that's really necessary, just to kind of hide the bowl effect here. You know, maybe that's dangerous, somebody gets stuck up under it. I don't know. We're gonna leave it at 3 though. So that takes care of like getting in and out safely. The next thing I think we want to look at adding is maybe a lifeguard chair. What kind of chairs we got? Let's see. Things always looks big. Put it at 27. Even Steven. And just kind of center it a bit. In some instances, I don't mind kind of having things a little off, you know, not perfectly square and everything, but for something like this, it just kind of fits to kind of be in the center. Mostly I'm lining up the red arrow with the line here. I know it's probably not exact because it probably depends on how my angle of my camera is, but that's how I'm figuring it out. I'm going to move this kind of to the edge. And then we're going to lift it up. Now, I looked at a lot of pictures of like how one would construct a, I don't know what you call it, a lifeguard chair is what I call it. It might have a special name, but I don't know what it is. Let me see. I don't know what kind of materials I got on here, and I can play around with. Probably just some colors. See what kind of colors we got. Lots of the orange ones. Again, probably the drake, and the wood just doesn't seem to. I don't know. I could use it. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just seems wrong for pool things. So I'm gonna go with the drake and pillar. I think if I wanted to bother with crafting up some materials for this, I would probably opt for like the white picket fence posts. I don't know why. I just, when I was thinking about putting this together, that's kind of what come to mind. Thanks for the follow, Zablosky. I appreciate it. So you could probably use any kind of material. I mean, you could just use some of the ladders, possibly. In fact, let's look at that too, just to cover all our bases. Maybe we'll like the ladder part better. Now again, the ladder is kind of woodenishly kind of looking, so maybe it won't work like we might want, but it is a quick option, especially if you don't want to build all of the ladder part yourself from scratch. So let's just see how this looks. Because you need a way. Hi, the Josh, or hi, Josh. I don't know. It sounds weird to say the Josh. But you need a way for the lifeguard to get up and down into his chair. Oh, I don't know. Does that looks weird, doesn't it? Maybe you should be able to get up and down from the front. That might make more sense. Maybe like right up to the water edge, sort of. Oops. And then put that down here. Probably not going to be perfect because, you know, I'm using an actual chair for this, so it's going to be probably not going to match up nice. Oops. And again, I have no idea what an actual lifeguard chair is supposed to look like. I've looked at several like Google images and they all look weird. I don't remember them looking like that, but maybe I'm just not remembering right. Something like that. And we'll put the pillars to the back to make it straight, I guess. I don't know. Looks a little weird. Maybe that's too small. That even looks too big, doesn't it? it should come in a bit. I know I'm not going to be able to get rid of all the little bits poking in and out, but I can kind of hide the majority. That would be. Let's see if bump that in size a little bit, just so I can use fewer pieces maybe. That might be too. Was it? Something like that, maybe. Like even the legs aren't angled at the same. Points out how kind of weird the chair is. And one's 327. I don't know, does that look alright? I mean, I guess you kind of know what it's supposed to be. This looks like the chair's funky because of the leg, the way the leg is. Let's make that one with this one, and maybe that looks a little better. It looks more even. Something like that. You know, you could get fancy. Maybe they have a parasol up above, or maybe it's an actual little platform with like a drink holder and, you know, all that kind of fancy stuff. If you have like one of those life preserver things, you could probably slap one of those on the side here, or maybe one on each side. Kind of deal. You know, if you have that on hand. This is an alt, so I don't really give her a lot of the really nifty stuff, so she doesn't have too much to play around with. Most of the things that she has is stuff I bought just made off of the vendor, so we're working cheap. Now I did think about setting up some kind of a slide. I'm not sure about where I might want to put that and how I want to put it in. Do we want to make it just a regular straight kind of slide with a little bit of, you know, height, or do we want to make a little whirligig one? You could probably get all sorts of fancy, you know, use maybe the glass clear tubes. The only thing is, if I set one up in here, I don't know if I can make it large enough to actually big enough for somebody to go in. I know there's been some that I've seen in the past where they've made like little pool features and you could actually go up it and down the tube into the pool. I don't know if mine will actually do that. But I am going to do some lounge chairs. The trouble is, I'm not sure if these things are wide enough to accommodate. I may have to do them kind of like not actually facing the pool, just because of how I set this up. Otherwise, there's not going to be a lot of room to walk around them. So maybe like a few lounge chairs on the side, kind of lined up along this way. So what we'll do is figure out what kind of material we want the lounge chair made of. Let's see. Don't want to do ore and we don't want to do casting, so we're left with. Let's do the exile ones. And since we don't have any like rectangle shapes, we usually want to go with like using two squares together to make that rectangle. And then we'll probably need a third one for the head part, the back, the chair. Oops. We need to fall off there. Okay. Now, I've tried making these in the past, but I'm going to do them a little different this time, just to kind of not repeat what I've done before. The first thing you got to figure out is your scale. How big do you want it, need it, however you want to refer to it. Let's try it at 30. And we're going to leave, you know, the space around. I don't know, maybe we could do it facing the pool. But we'll try it, and if there's not enough space, then we'll turn it. I angled the back pretty strongly at it. Again, it doesn't have to be centered, but I don't know, I'm going to keep doing that. And then we need a little bit of, needs to be off the ground some. You know, if you're just winging it like this, you can change it up however you need to. It's no big issue. That might be too big. We'll see. So something like that, and kind of get an idea of size. I usually like I just go around using my character as kind of an idea. How big, too small. Really looks a little too big for her, so let's see, can we link these and get them to all size together? It just kind of made it all wonky. So we'll just do it manually. Easier for me rather than trying to figure out what changed or what didn't change. Just knocking a little bit of the size off. Again, I know that it would probably mean that it might be a little too small for other races, but again, I'm just kind of fixing it for my character. Okay, let's try that again. Just kind of line up, would you? Looks a little better. She was to actually be stretched out and not curled up like actually. That'll work. I think that's better. Okay, so now you need some feet. Now in the past I've used like the hanging wires, just kind of like as little wire legs and things, but I think I'll go ahead and use pillars for this. I'll just use the exile ones. It's an exile floor, just to kind of go with the theme. You could use other pillars. You don't have to use pillars. You can use something else. If you want to use a solid base, you could use some of the hover part pieces. They're like a thick bit. You could probably get away with using that. I'm just gonna try this, see how it looks. I'm partly being able to use these because of the way I've built the swimming pool. I can get away with sinking a lot of stuff down. I know, be. Kind of looking to see where that is. That might be too big. That actually might be too high. Maybe that's what's bugging me. I'm not sure. I hit smaller. The reason I bring it up where it's visible is so that I can get it kind of squared away in the corner. That's the main thing. And then I sink it down just enough to hide the top of it. That's all I'm doing. That looks okay. I think I like that. So then we just plop those in there. In my personal opinion, pandas, it's not dead at all. There's always going to be people that say the games are dead. They say that about WoW. They say that about Rift. They say that about a lot of them. As long as there's people playing, and here I am playing, then it's not dead. Now I understand that there are going to be people that just want, they take a joy in seeing games struggle, and they will do whatever they can to promote that by saying, negative things about it, but it's not going to deter me from playing as long as I'm having fun, which I am. But if you don't enjoy a game, move on to something else. Okie dokie. So there's one. You could put cushions or towels or whatever on there if you want. You could put a little table with a drink on it. There's a lot of little details that you could add. What we're going to do is probably go ahead and add a couple more of these and just have this the lounge chairs section. I don't necessarily want to do 4, 1 for each square, but I'll probably do 3 and like maybe just put them in this little area. That sounds pretty decent. So don't want to. Guess I'm standing too close. This doesn't want to accept it. Wow. Try it again. There we go. I don't know, maybe it's because it thinks the object comes in the size, the bigger size, and then it kind of wants to. Then it resizes itself, and so with me standing too close, maybe it kind of wigs it out. I don't know. I don't know what causes it. I thought it was far enough away, but apparently not. Again, I'm not like picking coordinates too much. I'm just eyeballing a lot of it, kind of getting it in there. It's not anything super accurate. I know a lot of people that really get into that part of it, and that's fine. But for me, it's I think that would be too much work. I could have done it with Katya's builder toolkit just as easily, probably, but I'll just go it this way. You know, there are some people that are completely dead set against using any kind of add-ons, and that's okay. You know, using third-party programs that you maybe not necessarily don't know if you can trust them or not. No, I can't blame them on that. They're a little bit cautious and they just want to go with what the game has and that. So, you know, for those that don't have Katya's, you know, they have to do it this way. So I'll just kind of, that'll be my excuse for doing it the old way. I mean, in reality, it's just me use all my new tricks regularly. Okay, so that's 2. So maybe I'll just put a 3rd one right in the middle. Far enough away this time? Yes. Excuse me. Now, you could have used other materials. You could have used crates or other kind of containers for the base of it. Like I said, the hoverboard building blocks probably could lend itself really well to that. Same way with the pool itself. You could have used the hoverboard or hover park pieces to really make it curvy and more organic than this, you know, little rectangle of pool here. But you know, I'm just giving you some ideas, a basic way of putting together a pool. This isn't like a set in stone. It's always got to be this way, you know. Maybe you want to install some kind of lighting along the edge of the pool. Easily do that. Put some neon strips or something along to kind of decorate it, especially if you have like a darker themed home where, you know, like the sky is dark and you really want to make it pop. You know, lining the edges with neon, like the beer signs that have the long edge of the blue. Just have that showing and inserted around. That would be really pretty cool looking. Same way with the water. I'm planning to use glass, but you could use other things that could actually make it kind of feel like you're actually in the water. Lots of options. And this is just a very, very basic general idea of how one could start on it and then kind of go. But that's what I love about this housing system. There's just really no end to it. Just about anything you can dream up, you could probably. Yes, in some instances it might not be exact, depending on what pieces you have access to and everything. But we've had like a lot of builders. Hey cowboy, you want to come and sit up in the yellow chair? Is that what you're saying? I don't know if maybe if you're on your mount, you pop up in there. Whoop, I almost made it. I'm just leaping right over it, aren't I? Oh well. Told you I'm not very good at the jumping. But yeah, you're welcome to come over and lifeguard the pool. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, that's what I like about the housings. Even if you see someone do like a car, it doesn't mean you can't. There's so many ways to make the car. It's just unreal. Oh, I know what it was. I was going to say that there's several people, including myself, that have done builds based around an actual known kind of thing, where it's like based on a film or a book or some other popular thing, and it's rewarding if you build it, and maybe not everybody necessarily knows the reason why you built it, the theme that you're going for, yet they recognize it. That tells you you're definitely on the right track. If someone can recognize what you built. Like I have a guildmate that his is based on Jurassic Park. And there's lots of little details that he's included in there that really just kind of like, wow, how did you get that? Because he's got like the big skeleton in the big main hall of the building. And he's got, you know, just lots of little details, and you know, that's part of the fun. I know there's an Alice in Wonderland kind of build. Actually, there's probably a few of those I can think of. I know there's a fellow housing nut that is working on one that I think it's something to do with Stargate, SS something. It's like the ship or the station or what, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's necessarily based on the movie. I think it's on the TV series. I saw there's a few game related ones. There's like the Mario Brothers one, and then there's the Zelda plot. And all of those are awesome and amazing how much detail they can put in to make it really resemble the themes that they're going for. And that's what I love about the housing. But I appreciate the compliment, Cowboy. It's really kind of I'm hoping my guildmates, if any of them take up this challenge as well, they will put me to shame on this, because it's really pretty basic. I mean, there's a lot of fancier things you could probably do with pools, especially like shapes. But for me, I just keep it simple, not go too crazy with it. Just giving some ideas of some of the items you could add to your pool to really bring it to life as a pool. You know, I put in the lifeguard chair because it's kind of like a community size pool. It's so huge. If it was smaller, you really wouldn't. I don't think a lifeguard chair would be justified necessarily. Not that you couldn't put one in, but I'm just saying. I don't think it would be as relevant as it would be for a bigger size pool. You could add a little tiki bar, you know, if you want to be able to serve drinks and stuff. If you want to get technical, you could have some kind of a little pump facility or maintenance thing, you know, because there's got to be some way that the water's coming in. Maybe I should install like some pipes around the sides to indicate that that's where the water is coming in and stuff like that. But I did go ahead and get a hold of some plushies. It just so happens that my alt does have access to a few of the low-level areas, since she is like 20 something. So I got some carrots. How appropriate is that? Let's see, we'll put one up here. Got a carrot lifeguard. I could leave it open if people want to come and role play that they're at a pool, but I really don't think anybody's going to come here and do anything like that. So we'll just have him sitting there for now. Let's see, what else could you put in the pool? You could, well, once I put in the water, I'll probably put in some floaties, some kind in here. Like I said, you could put in some kind of little snack bar, tiki bar, changing rooms, like some lockers or something for people to change into their swimsuits. What else could you put in? We could put in a pool boy, or somebody cleaning the stuffs. Let's see, how would you do that? Want one of those like long rod things with the little net on the end. Can we build one of those? Let's see if we can build a pool cleaner thing. First, we have to have a carrot pool boy. So down here. Okay, and then size that down quite a bit. Because you know, the carrot's got to be able to hold it, or it's not going to look right. Let's see, this is still too big, isn't it? This. Super strong carrot with the gigantimous pool cleaner. That'll work. Just an example. Okay, go with object movement here. Can't tell. With it so small, it's hard to see if there's a gap there. I think that's okay. Okay, so it's kind of like it's gonna be in the water, sort of. So there you have the little pole thing. And then you need like the little net thingy, and the perfect thing for that would probably be not the shelf. The little net shelf. That would be ideal. Wow, that comes in so huge. Look at that. The giant pool cleaner. Oh my gosh. Ridiculously huge. There we go. That's looking better. How awesome is that? Maybe a little smaller. Drop it to 1.5 maybe. There you go. Kind of floating above us. It's hard to tell. Thing like touching it. Yeah, that works. So there you have a pool cleaner carrot. Maybe these could probably actually be shrunk down even more. If you have like, say, a sparking wire, you could probably get away with hiding the sparking end in here and just using the rod as the handle. That would work pretty good. We just don't have a lot of like little skinny rod things except for these pillars, and the smaller you make them and the further you go away, well, they still kind of show up, don't they? Well, let's try this. What size is that? We'll knock it down to 0.2. Is he still holding it? Kinda. I hear some beeping downstairs. Sounds like my laundry is done. Yay for laundry. Let's see, so probably one or two more. Let's try one. Oh, let's just. Oops, what did I do? That was really wrong. That didn't work out. Let me try reload. Not letting me click it. Maybe it got angry because I was changing it up. not letting me select that at all. How weird is that? Let me try leaving and then coming back. Maybe I'll clear that up. I think I was just standing too close to it and it didn't like. It didn't like me being there. Yep, see, now it's not there. That's just... So there you go. If you come into some weirdness like that, just kind of just bring up Katya's handy dandy. Okay, gotta do that again. Reload UI. Maybe it just doesn't like me building this. I want to do it. So picky. There we go. Finally. Okay, so there's the carrot pool guy, and I don't know. What could he have pulled out of it? Gotta give it something. Maybe we got any like grass? Is that in the plants? Grass. Yeah, maybe put like got some weeds out of it. And that stuff comes in so huge. There you go, you got a little bit of, I don't know, fungus, moldy stuff out of the pool. You know, if you have a discarded bra or something, you could probably put that in there. Who knows what you might find in the pool. Piece of food somebody threw in there for fun. No telling. Anyway, like I said, with the lounge chairs, you could do a variety of things. You could put pillows on there. If you have the lop hand towel or the striped towel, you could folded shirt. You know, maybe someone who's got a little like little cover thing that they put on at the pool. Again, you could install changing rooms. What else? A little place where people can maybe rent floaties of different shapes and sizes and stuff. A place for if somebody gets hurt at the pool, there's a little first aid station or something. Pretty basic, not anything fancy. So I think we're going to stop there for today. I'll brainstorm a little bit more about what kind of things we might want to add before we wrap this up. I'm sure there's probably a lot of things I could add. And I may go ahead and add just to kind of keep working on it until some other things come into play. Oops. But yeah, if you're wanting to give your build a little bit of life, plushies are a great way to do that. Later on, we're going to be getting NPCs. Of course, a lot of them are holding weapons and stuff, and that might not be suitable for like a beach party scene, but you know, eventually maybe they'll add more, and so things are moving in a good direction. But if you happen to have a lot of people that frequent your plot, if you're really aiming to have it as a role play kind of environment and you promote it as such, really the fewer like pre-made little persons that you have laying about, the better, ideally, because you know you want your visitors to, you know, if somebody wants to come up here and sit in the chair, having the plushie there kind of detracts from that approach. It limits them as to what they can interact with. I'll probably end up removing that just to leave it open in case somebody comes and visits. And I actually may ask some guildmates to kind of do some posing for pictures and stuff, like I did with the bingo hall, just to kind of play around with it and post up some pictures and stuff. But there you go. Didn't spend a whole lot of time on it today, but we did do quite a few things, and we discussed some, you know, alternative options. If you wanted to make your stairs square, so it's kind of more into the triangle part, that's perfectly fine. If you wanted to actually just build in some kind of a metal stair, or you know, even just using little bits of the ladder to fashion one that's hooked on to here, that would be fine too. You could have, if you wanted to go deeper with this, say you elevated it a little more, you could just tier your flooring a bit in some form or fashion and make it so that you have a shallow end for the pool and then a deep end for the pool. For me, I just kept it simple and just done it the same depth all the way across, but you can, you know, mix it up. You could even add in a small section where it's like a little jacuzzi part if you want. Maybe we'll look into adding one of those in this corner here, making a little bubbly jacuzzi kind of thing going on. And of course, I still need to add the staircase here. You know, rather than expecting my guests to just jump up here, we'll have an actual legitimate staircase eventually. As well, we're going to have to think about lighting. Right now, we're using these oversized sconces just to kind of alleviate the pain of working in the nighttime sky, but eventually we'll want some kind of lighting going on. But you know, that's some of the upcoming details that we can play around with. You see where we go from there. But for now, we're going to call it good. Let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday, so we'll be having the house tours, and tomorrow is Exile's turn. I still have to get on the ball and check out what homes we're going to have on the list. I've got a few, but I need a few more. So I need to go around and check in and make sure everybody's still available, because there are times when people will be on the list and they'll close up shop, decide, hey, I'm going to change my theme, and I don't want to get caught with houses not being what I expect them to be, and go in and it's all empty. You know, that's kind of disappointing. But I'll be sure and do that sometime today. And then Thursday we'll probably come back to the pool. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be sure, if you can, join me for tomorrow's house tours. If you're on Java's side, on Exile specific, you're welcome to join me in game as I tour, because I usually put the house owner names in the Twitch chat for those that would like to join and want to make sure they get the spelling correct and everything. I have a few that do that already, but the more the merrier if you want. Thank you to those that are following my channel. I appreciate the support, and I hope that whatever drew you to the channel and got you to stick around will continue to draw you back, because I'm really, while this is partly just self-entertainment, I get to record a lot of what I'm working on for posterity's sake. Later on, a few years down the road, I'll be looking back and go, yeah, I remember building that and that kind of thing. I also do it for everyone else, for those that are interested in exploring new ways of handling decor to build something unique and special. And not just how I do it, but like with the house tours, to show how other people do it. Those more skilled than myself can really help to inspire folks either that are new to the game and just aren't aware of the possibilities. That kind of opens their eyes in that respect. But it's also for even seasoned players, or those that are just coming back from after a long absence, just to kind of spur them to get it back into it, to re-experience I hate sounding cheesy, but the joy of creating something your own. So anyway, I appreciate the support and look forward to seeing you guys again, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.